turning living rooms into life rooms.
Come on, say.
We've been giving God room with these life tunes.
Come on.
We just get too busy living and watching others live
That we forget the one who gave us
life. So we've been turning living rooms into life rooms.
Excellence. He's so. Why did you just do that so awkwardly?
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I was just waiting for you to say Exodus to Exodus.
Oh, so you
that I
wanted
can
to
just
like
jump in,
be in tune.
Yeah, so that I can
Okay,
harmonize.
so we're gonna go home and practice that one on FaceTime because I don't know what you was trying to do there. I don't know what you. Well, today's episode is being a young person in the 21st century. That's crazy. 21st
century.
And it's a mess.
It is crazy.
It's a mess.
It's like everything is disoriented.
We need to bring Jesus back into this.
We don't even know where to start.
Honestly, I think
in the 21st century.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, besides being youth, like even like adult presentation of life is just, I don't know. Like I feel like things like politics, rubbish, wars, rubbish. People still starving in countries when we have so much technology, so much funding, so much money. Rubbish. I can't.
The 21st century.
I can't.
I think we're living in the...
Don't say the end times.
No.
Okay. We'll let him land. We'll let him land.
Huh?
We'll let you
Say
land
the
then,
end
'cause-
time.
'cause-
I'm not an end time preacher or whatever.
Okay, good, because...
I don't even know, man. Jesus has been trying to come back for a minute, so we're still trying to figure that out. But I think we living in an interesting time, more than any other time in history, and maybe every time everybody thought that their time was the most interesting time, but I think this is just a weird time to live in.
I think it's bigger than even being an interesting time. It's so funny because a lot of people have lived and probably thought, yeah, this is the end times. Yeah. This is the end time. No, this is the end times. No, like, honestly, everyone thinks they're in the end times, and it's like...
It's been the end times for the last 2,000 years. I've been reading my Bible and I'm like, wait for the Lord, he's definitely coming. And that was like 2,000 years ago.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we are always going to be in the end times.
We are in
God
the
is
end
going to
times.
continuously test the people on what they believe, where they lay their faith, and what they love the most. And do you know what? I kind of feel like it's even funny for people to say that this is the end times, because why would you want it to be the end times?
Why would you not want it to be the end time?
Alan, there's people that have not even given their life to Jesus yet.
Oh yeah,
like,
you know,
like I feel like I'm not forcing it on no one. It is a personal choice to follow Christ or to follow whatever the hell else you follow. Like,
just kidding.
What did you just say?
But Bao was one of like the
You are so silly.
it's cool if you love Bao. That's you.
No, we don't love
we don't
that
do
either.
we don't do that.
No.
We don't do that.
Okay, let me just say this. I feel like as being a young person in the 21st century, I feel like a lot of the youth have got trapped into, let's say, a time of like, they believe, like everyone, majority of people I know, they will say they believe in God and that they love God the most and this and that and that and this. But I feel like, I've mentioned this quite a few times, like to people, but I do generally feel like people believe in God enough to just not go to hell. Like, people are not believing in God enough to like walk in that victory that he has laid out for us, if you know what I'm saying. Because I feel like people say, yeah, I believe in God, yeah, God this and God that, but like people don't pray, people don't read the Bible. Even simple gospel music triggers them. Like, you get in their car and like they're trying to play like don't get me wrong, secular music, like I even still listen to secular music, but not as much as I used to.
I do.
Exactly, like we all do in it, but like not as much as I used to. But like, say like you get in a car or like you try to play gospel music and like they're looking at you like. I'm not gonna lie. If you ever look at me funny for playing gospel music,
You're kicking them out of your car. That's crazy.
I already know who you are to me.
You say what?
I already will know who you are to me.
Oh, okay.
Like I'll automatically just know like you're not my kind of person, bruh. Because I feel like with God, you naturally fall into the love of gospel music. You fall into like loving the Bible, like all this kind of stuff. And it's like, even like say like the Bible, like a lot of people have a Bible, but they won't even read the Bible. The Bible is so accessible. We can get it on our devices.
Yeah. And for me, it's just a question of if I don't have, like, I don't know what would drive my thought process
without that kind of
without the scriptures, right?
And
like, what would be the driving force of my thoughts?
I literally think about this all the time because, like,
and for me, I don't want that. Would be scary because like, thoughts are powerful, right? And a lot of people, and I think we live in an age where mental health, thoughts are constantly choking people and bringing them down and making them do silly things and etc. So the basis of scripture for me is just, how do I align my thought? My thoughts are not your thoughts. God says that. Yeah. But how do I align my thoughts with his thoughts, right? So that we walk in unison with his purpose. And so for me, that's just, so I cannot go a day without reading my Bible. I just can't.
I know what you're saying. But I feel like, I don't know, because in this generation as it is, like, I feel like people are so illiterate anyway. Like, people don't read books anymore as a whole. So I feel like even just like thinking about reading the Bible is probably like a bit much for people. They're probably thinking like, read the Bible?
Yeah.
That one book that has how many words?
I ain't gonna lie, the Bible is a complicated book.
It is, and I think
it's intentionally complicated, but if you have someone to guide you through it, then it uncomplicates most of the matters within it. So I think when people just open the Bible and they're reading, "Woe to you, Chorazin," and you're like, okay, you just gotta close it, right?
So silly. No, because what was that?
No, like,
but it's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
it
intimidating in that factor.
Yeah, it is.
But that's the thing. That's just the surface persona that the Bible, so that it knows the word of God is reading your heart, discerning your heart. That's what scripture says, right? But if you keep on going, you find that it begins to unlock a lot, and you can see a lot of things.
And I wish like more young people were in their Bible more. There are a lot of, not even just youth, also like older people as well. Like, they say they're Christian, they say this and that, and then they'll quote things and it's like,
where you get that from?
Do you know what? Me as a Christian, I'm human, and unfortunately I live in my flesh, but I do cancel my flesh for the Lord. I want to live in the spirit, you know? But as humans,
whatever that means,
we make mistakes, yeah?
Right.
And I've had people call me out for mistakes, and it'll be like, oh my gosh, like, you say you're Christian, but then you do that. God doesn't like that. Yeah, he doesn't like that. But you know, the good thing is, I can get on my knees and ask for forgiveness, and God will hear my heart out, and he will know truly if I didn't mean for that to be like that, and he will grant me the forgiveness that I need. Because you know, one thing I must say, I don't seek no forgiveness from no human. No way. Like, as long as it's between me and God, and God grants me that forgiveness and that grace, you can't tell me nothing.
And it's about building that relationship.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me nothing. Like, you can hate me for anything, but if God has granted me, you can't tell me nothing.
And I think it comes down to your relationship with God. Literally. And I think for me, what people who do not have a relationship with God, or who have not fostered their relationship with God, cannot walk in love like the Father loves. And I've realized that the more I've studied my scriptures, the less religious I've become, and the less judgmental I've become.
Literally that. Oh my gosh.
You know,
It's
which is
so
a
real,
weird
though.
thing.
It's so real.
But the more you don't know your scriptures, the more judgmental you are. And you're like, you're judging, but do you even know? It's like the Pharisees, right? Like,
you know
you
what's so
haven't
funny?
actually read your scriptures
You
well.
haven't. And it's so funny, yeah, because before, like, I must say, like, in the last couple months, I would say since, like, last year, let me say more November, I dived more into, like, actually being in God, because, like, I felt like I've always been in God, because I've grown up with parents that have always had me in the whole idea of God and Jesus. Like, I've never
your
not
dad,
known
though.
it.
Your
Like, my dad.
Vicky's dad, man. I love that guy.
I'm going to show
man.
him this episode, because my dad, honestly, like, if you know my dad, you know, he don't stop. But
He loves the word, man.
he loves the word. But I feel like besides
he can be
that,
he can be trying to tell you, Alan, I need you. Like, he'll call you up, right?
yeah,
And he has like a goal.
yeah.
But his way of just like getting
into
into
it is
it
just
is
like-
through scripture. So before you know,
And
he's
it's not
giving you
one,
like a whole
it's not two,
sermon.
it's 5.
You have a
Plus
whole sermon.
five
Then he's like, oh, by
plus-
the way, can you?
Can, do you
I
know
love
what that is
that.
him for him. Besides that, like, I've always been into that, like, into God and everything, but I felt like I've always done it for like, since I was a teenager anyway, I've always loved God for my own self, but I felt like I didn't know him as well as I had wanted to know him. And I feel since last year, November, I've done it more myself, and the more I'm doing it for myself, it's just becoming so much more valid to me, because I feel like before there were certain things I was still doing, and like I still had the idea of God in my mind, because obviously like the sermon and everything you kind of just know, but I felt like there were still certain things that weren't aligning. And once I got rid of like certain things and situations, and like just opened myself more to just God and God and God and God, I just wanted him to fill my lamp. Oh, the fire started burning and it ain't going out.
Yeah.
Like literally,
And
like
I love
I feel like I've opened, like, mentally, and the knowledge that I've now gained. Like, I like certain things will happen, and I'll just be like, it is what it is. Like, you just become more free. You don't try to control things. You don't try to control people. You don't even. I don't even plan
You're
ahead.
free, yeah.
I'm just free. Like, I don't, like, you know that certain people will be like, oh, I want this and this and this and this and this to happen by like this time. Like, I can't lie, at the beginning when we did start planning the podcast, I had wanted it to come out in June. And like when we hadn't started filming, I was kind of like, but then I was like, you know what, it's fine, because God has a time for a reason. He has that timing for a reason. And that's what it's about. Like, it's not about the rush. It's about God's timing. Like, I've put everything into God's timing. When I have a baby, God's timing. When I have a husband, God's timing. When I buy my house, God's time. Everything's in God's timing. I don't even care about my timing anymore. I've let go. Like, I feel like when people try to control their lives too much, they lose control. Yeah.
That's true.
You lose control.
That's true.
And I feel like, especially like in this generation, in the 21st century, we have a lot of depression and anxiety. I can't lie, I've gone through that stuff, but I won't get into it in this episode. But I will say, it's about your purpose. And I can't remember what it says, but there was something that does relate to depression in the Bible. It was kind of saying like, God has a purpose for everyone, and you're only depressed because you haven't found your purpose.
And that's totally it, because it's you get more. It's like being out of tune,
Literally.
right?
You
It's
fall
like
so out of tune,
with your entire being. So, and I think that's what clouds your judgments, and you get into depressive states. Because you just lost the sense of direction, which is purpose, right? And God, like you said, that knowing God for yourself is the best thing you can actually do for yourself. You know, nobody is going to take on the responsibility of knowing God for you.
Literally.
Like, the pastor is not here to know God for you.
Like,
He can
it's
only
true.
guide you
into it.
but he's not, and that's why the prayer that Christ introduces for us is that our Father who art in heaven. And for you to pray our Father, it already puts you in a position of sonship or daughtership, right? In a place whereby that's my Father. And whereas in the Old Testament, it was more like Elohim, El Shaddai, all those big names of God, right? But when Christ comes in the picture, he's bringing a relationship. He's like, I'm here, guys.
Yeah, literally.
Right?
And he didn't die for religion. He died for us to have an intimacy to God.
He just died for us to have and to develop and cultivate a relationship with God. Because God did not work for them. Like, when he was banning them and all of that in the Old Testament, like, it was a long day, right?
It was a long day. They
and the thing is, the more that God sent judgment on them, the tougher they became. They became stiff-necked. Like, when you read like the prophets, the books of the prophets, is that the children of Israel actually became stiff-necked. And that just shows you that if you don't treat people with compassion and you bring judgment on them, they actually worsen than become better.
Yeah. God hardens your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally that.
Your heart just gets more hardened towards what you're trying to communicate.
People that are so hateful, spiteful. And I feel like in this generation, especially with like, say like, we've got a lot of like, things like, we still have things like gangs and like postcode wars.
Imagine fighting for a postcode. I've just never understood things
Government owned postcodes.
I just never understood those things.
If your mom did not buy the house and she's still renting, stop fighting.
Stop doing that. Like, what are you doing with your life?
It doesn't make sense.
Like,
and I literally tell David and always friends this all the time. Cut it out.
Well, he's growing into that age, right?
He's in that age, innit? And like, obviously they do have certain friends that are already in it. But I always like try to sway them away because honestly, nah, man. If my brother knows, if you ever even saw David doing it, please let me know, because he knows. I already told Mum I'll pay for his ticket to Uganda myself out of my own pocket. Out of my own, I seriously will. Like, seriously.
It's
like,
silliness.
I feel like, I don't know why it's even become like a glamour to these young boys, because it's not cute.
It isn't.
It's not, like, life is so simple and life can be so great. Just stop doing the things that just make it so damaging. Like, let's just be, just work in Tesco.
Just go chill, right?
Let's all just calm down. Let's come back to earth. No, seriously, it really does make me mad. And like, obviously, like last year, having lost Ashraf and everything.
Yeah.
It was like,
that was sad. How old was he? Like 16 or something?
And you're losing your life.
You're losing your life at
knife.
16. At a knife as well.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I would be.
Nah.
It's not right,
It's
man.
not right. It's like so crazy. Like 16 years old, your whole life is just gone. Like, just because, like, nah, man, dead.
It's not it, man.
Get rid of it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's
and
not.
I do understand that a lot of what society has become is fatherless in a sense.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, I've been talking about this to a lot of people recently.
And I think that the disruption in the foundations of family is what's actually the driving force for gang culture.
Yeah, it is. I feel like a lot of our youth now are kind of swayed in a way of that. And I feel like let me make a good example of someone like, so say like Sarah. She is smashing it as a mum. I always just want to cry every time I look at those two beautiful little babies.
Joshua and Maya.
I love them so much.
Amazing
and every time I look at them,
kids,
I
man.
think, Sarah, you're a queen. You ate with that one. Seriously, she did. Because I kid you not, when you don't have a mum that is strong in prayer, that's like guiding you the right way, and obviously she's experienced all the things. Like, I can't wait for her to even come on this podcast and spit
speak. And
what
honestly,
she's done and gone through in this life, because she's just...
She has,
She's made it way up. And I feel like a lot of people deny this all the time.
Yeah. You have to be really strong.
You have to be strong. And I feel
we
like...
have, and shout out to all the strong ladies out there holding
seriously.
it down.
And dads.
And
if you are a
dads.
single dad, shout out to you big time, because
Yeah.
you're doing
Holding
a
it
lot.
down.
Being a mom as a man that's tough. Like, especially if you've got like a daughter.
That's
She's gonna be a
crazy.
teenager one day, talk about her period, and you're gonna be like, do I have to
I
suck
don't know
my
what
dick?
that is. I don't know what
No, but like it's so
Yeah.
crazy. And I feel like people deny this a lot, but like having your family dynamic does definitely play an impact on who you are. It
Heavily.
no one can deny it.
Heavily, yeah.
Heavily it does. Like certain things for me, like a lot of the things I don't tolerate and do tolerate and all this stuff is because of my family. Like, you know me, Alan. There's certain things that I'm very like, oh, I'm gonna come right back at you. And it's because of the way I've been raised. It's like me personally, my mum has raised me, my mum and my dad have raised me too well for too long for me to be doing certain things. Like, nah. Like, there's a ground of respect for myself, and it's like, you couldn't sway me away from that because of how I've been raised. And I'm actually lucky, like, a lot of people
They've
don't have
done
the
an
best
amazing
relationship
jobs, yeah.
with their parents, but like me, I don't have the best relationship with my dad, but I will say, like, because of our relationship,
But you're respectful though.
yeah, I keep it respectful, because at the end of the day, it's not, oh my God, I hate my dad. We just don't have the best relationship. He thinks I hate him. It's so
No,
funny.
you-
He thinks
you
I
love
hate
him,
him.
no?
I love him to bits, but we just don't have the best relationship, and that's fine. That's actually fine. And I've actually accepted that, like, in a sense. Like, we do have our good days, I will say, but we do clash a lot. And it's like, it's okay, because of you, I now have like a ground of respect. Like, because of the fact that I've been raised by I've had my dad around me for all my life. Men could never walk all over me. You know
Facts.
this, Alan.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Men could never walk all over me. The things that my dad's done for me and who he has been in my life, despite certain things, you could never. I had my papa around, and I still got my papa around. You can't play with me. And same thing with my
Yeah.
mom. Like,
And
as a
to be
woman-
fair, your dad, he's done everything for you. He's willing to do everything for you. To be
if I
fair,
called my dad right now and I asked him for something, hey,
He's-
we might go in a scruffle about it first.
he
but
will.
He'll do it.
He will do it, and he will come all the way to Croydon just to pick up a cake.
Is that serious?
My
My dad buys cakes all year round, like no man's business.
You know, he's
Oh my God.
the only black father I've seen put up all the Christmas lights in the house
Every year.
every single year without a fail.
Every year.
And not just some small lights, like
No, we're talking about
just like
inside and outside the
outside,
house.
like.
Crazy.
And he's that type of. He's very hands-on. He's a good father, I would reckon.
He's done his part.
Yeah,
But I
he's done his
definitely
part
do
in
feel
raising
like
you, yeah.
that relationship that you do have with your parents and your siblings as well. Me and my brother, we clash a lot, but recently, because he's also getting older,
Yeah.
we are getting along more.
You're getting an understanding.
Yeah, we're starting to connect a bit more, I
Yeah,
would
I actually
say.
used to fight him. And you told
Oh
me
my-
I actually fought him. I'm like, you did not fight him.
Me and David would scrap, like,
Like, you actually went
beating each other up and
scrapping.
everything. And I'm actually kind of happy, like, we do have the brother-sister relationship. I would have liked a little sister, but I feel like it's better with a little brother. Because in the sense, like, I feel like growing up, I've always, like, been more around boys than girls anyway. Like, I had female cousins, but I feel like around my age, it was more boys anyway growing up. Like, anytime I go to cousins' houses, it was boys there. So, like, growing up, I'm actually quite, like, boyish. Like, I'm really girly, but I do have boyish aspects. Like,
Yeah, like, I feel
if
like
you
I
tell
can
me,
talk
let's
to you
go,
about
like,
anything.
play some basketball. I'm gonna say, yeah, let me get my trainers on. We're gonna go outside.
Yeah, that's true though.
Like, I do have that with me. So I feel like having David around has just been great. Like, and I think our dear baby Milo has drawn us closer. I must say.
With Milo.
Yeah, like I will say Milo's definitely helped me and David like find our understanding ground.
Where you never had an understanding.
We did.
Oh, it
got
was
to an
just like
extent.
it was
just like,
brother sister.
yeah,
type,
but now
you
it's
know.
like we can connect more through Milo. So like the other day it was hot and Milo wanted to play outside, so we were just like, okay, me and David will play fetch and Milo will go run between us to catch the ball. It's fun.
That's amazing. And you go hiking. Am I bugging or did I see something like that?
Yes.
You actually
I do
going
such
hard.
no working in the school has changed me. Oh my god,
I'm
I'm
like,
so
what?
active.
When you showed me pictures, I'm
I'm
like,
hiking.
where do you
gym
even
more.
get places to hike?
I eat like I don't even eat like
You go
junk.
gym.
You know I go gym. You asked. You didn't even state that. You know I go gym.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do go gym. And like I don't know, like my life's just changed. And even like I go swimming with the students. We go on like
You
loads-
swim?
Yeah, we go swimming now. So like
But do you swim?
no, I don't swim.
Ah.
I'm there to support.
Ah.
I'm
Can
a
I can I
cheerleader.
just say something?
Go ahead. Black people can't swim.
No, I'm the great
Okay.
swimmer. I'm a very great swimmer. I'm just gonna put that out there. You just haven't seen me swim, but I'm actually good.
Are you actually?
Yeah,
Where did you learn? In Kampala?
yeah, yeah.
Did you actually?
Yeah, like
You know
growing
Uganda?
up. Yeah, growing up, like
Yeah.
I was into swimming. Like I did competitions, school competitions and stuff. Yeah, like I went to a school where there was like a pool, and every evening we're just doing like swimming and stuff. So yeah, like so I proper like, I'm a proper swimmer, guys. Yeah, like I was literally trying to go to the Olympics. Psych.
Yeah, I was
That's
about
not-
to say that is so far stretched.
That's a stretch.
That is a big stretch.
Mhm.
Well, let's just briefly talk about how this generation has kind of made it. Let's not say complex, but let's say they complicate it more than they need to, like with their relationship to God. Let's say, because I feel like I've had a few conversations with certain people, obviously around my age, and we've spoke about God. And let's just say they complicate it. People still talk about the things of the flesh and things of like, it's just things that we don't even, forget it. Forget it. Just live day by day. Be grateful. Like, I think we need more gratitude as a generation as a whole. Like,
Yeah.
we lack gratitude.
Gratitude.
Oh my God.
Gratitude.
Oh my
And
God.
can I say, gratitude is the foundation of everything. When you're young, right? And I think I was thinking about this. The first lesson, and the reason I was thinking about this is because maybe I was at the park and the mom is like telling a little girl, "Did you say thank you?" or something had happened, right? And that got me thinking, is that the first thing we ever learn from our parents is to say thanks.
Yeah, she is.
It's actually the first lesson of life. Like, gratitude is the first lesson of life. Like, the first thing that your parents ever teach you when somebody hands you something, say thank you. Did you say thank you to the bus driver? Did you say thank you to the... You know what I
Becomes a
mean?
chore. Honestly, like,
But as we grow up,
we lose it.
we lose that factor of gratitude. We lose the first lesson of life.
As a generation, many of us are very, very, very blessed. Like, I must say, for me, myself, I feel like I don't appreciate myself enough, but I also do feel like I don't thank God enough for how much he's done in my life. For starters, I'm still waking up another 24 hours every single day.
Blessed.
I still have both my parents in my house.
Blessed.
I have all my siblings.
Blessed.
I have a degree.
Oh, blessed.
I get to travel.
Oh, blessed.
Oh, blessed. And my mama let me have a dog.
Oh, blessed.
That's a blessing.
That's
And, like,
true.
I feel
there's
like
so many good things
there's
to be.
just too many good things,
You can
like-
be grateful.
And that's not even the list, because like if you think about from the day you was born to the day you're living today, think about how many things that have changed and happened and you still survived. The fact that I made it out of depression,
Blessed for real.
Do you know
Like
what
you
I'm
need
saying?
to put blessed on the
blessed.
blessed.
No, seriously, because I actually can't believe like such, I don't even know how to explain it, but there's just something about it where it's just like people go through things and they just think, oh, my life is rubbish. My life is this. My life is that.
And I think, it's the most selfish thing you can ever do, because there is somebody experiencing 10 times worse than you.
Do you know when it hit me? It hit me last year. I think in the beginning of last year. I actually deeped, like, the fact that I get to travel alone. Like, because before I felt like I was treating traveling as, like, just a hobby. But I actually, like, now I'm starting to, like, calm down, because I've traveled 10 times in 2 years. It's crazy. I'm starting to calm down now, because for starters, I want to,
You're a
like,
holiday girl. No,
I am. I love a holiday.
You-
But
you
I'm
love
starting
your
to calm
bit of
down.
sun?
I have to calm down, because for starters, I feel like I want to save some experiences for my kids and my husband, for me to like do those things with them.
with them, right?
But I also feel like traveling is more than a hobby. It's a luxurious. Yeah, it's just
taxing.
luxury. It's
That's
luxury.
tax.
The fact that I have a passport and I can just go to any airport and just get it stamped and just go abroad is actually a very big blessing. Not everyone gets to do that.
It is.
It's such a big blessing. Like, not
To
any
being
Tom,
in
Dick, and
this
Harry.
nation as well. Like, people are dying crossing over.
Do
Can
you
we
know what
talk
I'm
about
saying?
that? Just so that they can just they're not even they don't even want like money or anything. They're just like, let me get to that place.
They just want the freedom. They just want to live.
Yeah.
And they don't even get the chance. People are dying
imagine-
young.
And you ask, what did they do in life? So, and I think that's the thing, is that one time they asked Jesus that, why was this man born blind? Why was he misfortuned in life? And I think those are the big questions that they normally pose on God, is that why is there suffering in life and all of those things, right? And God says that it's for the glory of God, which is a simple answer to such a complex question.
Yeah, literally.
And I think if we just adjust our mind and just look at situations, that this situation is for the glory of God. And once we open our eyes to see every misfortune that happens for us, it's actually for the glory of God more than
really
anything
is.
else.
Like, people think, oh my gosh, bad things, karma, this and that. No.
Yeah.
I don't even believe in karma.
Yeah.
I don't believe in karma. I believe in vengeance, but I don't take
By
the vengeance.
karma, what do you mean by karma? Like the
Like, you know,
Buddhist
like-
ideology of it?
Kind of, but I feel like it's more in the sense of
Like, if you do, I believe in
if you
sowing
do
and reaping.
bad- In what?
Sowing and reaping. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
So obviously you cannot go around being a hateful person, a person who's just the worst, and expect good things.
Yeah, you can't.
Like, life has this reciprocal power
It's so
that
true.
whatever you sow, you reap. So
It always comes back around.
yeah, it
But I
always,
feel like
but
it's
not
a
karma as in directly linked to a situation. I don't believe in something bad has happened to me, that's because I cast out somebody on the street. No, it's not because you cast
It's
out
not
something.
like that.
Yeah,
It's
so
not- it's not a boomerang.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like a direct link
Yeah.
of two different situations.
Yeah.
But I think that your life and the decisions you make do affect you in that
yeah.
sense.
I do believe in that, definitely, because I feel like a lot of people feel like so say if someone does them wrong, they automatically want to take things into their hands and like try control the whole situation. Like, that's why a lot of people like literally don't like one another. People have beef. People are just like all over the place these days with like all sorts of emotions. Let your emotions go. Stop operating on your flesh. God has the hand. And that's what I believe in. If you do me wrong, if we have a disagreement, all of this stuff, yeah, I don't have to deal with it. I sit back. God is the almighty judge, and that's all that matters. Like, once God has made his decision, that is what we will go with. And no one can change that. I'm not going to lie. And I think as youth, like, people need to understand that more, because like,
we always try and control. I think growing up is more, when you're young, you avoid of control because all the control is in your parents.
yeah, literally.
So as you grow up, you want control.
Controlled.
Then as you get older, you realize you don't need to control things.
Yeah, you actually don't.
So the
oh
teenage,
my gosh.
you know what I mean? So it's a weird thing.
It's so weird. Like you know, like people that are young, and it's like, one thing I've noticed is like, so say like people like have a few disagreements in their house. Like, some people don't actually live such a bad at home life, but like they'll move out the house because, oh, this and that, I want to control this and that, I want to live my own life.
I just want to do this and that. I don't.
It's
want
actually okay
I
to
don't
live
want
with your
my
parents.
mom
There's
to-
literally people out here that are being physically abused by their parents, like beaten black and blue.
No, move out.
You need to
help.
move out.
Yeah, that's help. You
Being
need help.
starved, like all sorts of mad things are actually happening in people's houses, but people think because of a little disagreement with their parents they need to move out.
No.
I'm actually good in my house. You know, the cost of living is not cheap.
Yeah, true.
I'm good at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
I have my dog. I have my own room.
And you're
My mum and dad buy my
fine.
groceries. And luckily, I still don't get charged for no rent, no bills, no nothing.
And they don't put any pressure on you.
Exactly.
It's a blessing, right? It
Exactly.
is a
Like,
blessing.
all I have to do is go to work, come home. I mean, I cook and clean when I can. But other than that, I'm actually blessed. I take that as a big blessing for me, actually. Like, being able to still live in my parents' home. Like, my parents never gave me a bad life to the point where I've, like, forced my way out of that house. And I'm like, I don't want to live here
I don't want to
anymore.
live here, yeah.
That's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
To my parents.
Thanks, Mom.
You know, thanks.
Because I should have
But-
got my mattress outside.
No, honestly, it's so real. But like, I don't know. But I feel like, let's talk about this one last thing. Let's talk about how, as young people, we all have the good and the power within us to make change and to make things good. Do you believe? Not even do you believe. I believe, and I know you believe. But how do you think
Be shocked.
the youth?
I'm just kidding.
How do you think the youth can like use their callings from God and like find it quicker, but also use it to make better change in the world?
Wow, that's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
And it's a big question, and it would take me hours just to try and
Okay, so
but
we'll
we're
part
gonna
two.
we're gonna get like the
Brief
bite
it.
size.
Yeah, brief it up.
Calling is just like your DNA. It's something embedded into your being. Certain things you just naturally gravitate to, right? They're sort of like giftings, and you don't know why you're gifted, like, and in certain areas, right? So I would say that everybody has a pattern of life, a destiny that is defined for them, and it's intrinsically woven. And I think I was reading in the book of Exodus, and then again, I'm not trying to get too deep into these things, but it's like God is telling he's telling Moses to knit the robe of Aaron, who was going to be the priest, right? In a certain way, with a certain, and it says intricately woven with certain details in it, because that robe was going to be his covering, which is his purpose. It was going to be something that he's going to use to fulfill his role in society as a priest, right? And so that in itself is symbolic. Like every one of us has a robe. We have a specific niche, I think you're built for things like this. For a young person, it's just finding the things that inside of you that are unique to you. Like a fingerprint, they're just you.
And it's so funny because I actually do feel like the same, because I feel like a lot of the times there's some youth feel like because they're not doing what maybe other Christian youth are doing, they feel like they have completely failed. You have not. One thing I've actually realized, is everyone has their own strength.
Standard.
And it's like one person cannot be the same as another.
Yeah.
Like my dad, for years, has kept
comparison kills, guys.
It does.
Don't compare.
It does. Like my dad, for years, he tries to get me to like remember like the whole Bible like back to front. It's not working because that's not my strength.
Yeah.
And it's fine. That's not my strength. I can't remember the Bible back to front. My dad. Psalms 39. And he knows what he says, by the way.
Yeah.
And then he'll take you to Job 32 and he'll know what that one says too.
Know, yeah.
And then he'll take you to Revelation. He knows what everything says.
It's his gifting. Yeah.
But that's not mine. And that's okay. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own different strengths. And no strength is better than another. It's yours. If you have something and someone else doesn't have it, you cannot compare. You cannot bash. You cannot. Just don't do it.
Otherwise, you'll kill yourself trying to be Rihanna. No? Okay, too far. Right, but yeah, no, that's true.
You're so silly. No, you are actually so silly. Rihanna.
Yeah, like you're trying to compare yourself with what is not. It might not be you.
I don't get on the pulpit thinking I'm chocolate.
Oh,
that girl can sing.
Yeah.
She is the best singer in our chocolate is crazy.
And the thing is that her ear is insane. It's not like she just sings, but she listens. Which is crazy.
She can adjust herself in like a second. Like some people, like they'll be singing
we're
low,
gonna
but
put the shepherd's voice so that you guys can watch.
Oh yeah, we need you guys to like lock into our church a bit more. Like, and actually, do you know what's so funny? Let me just say this so we can wrap up because we can't get into the next topic. But let me just say, we're coming up with events.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Exodus to Excellence.
Yeah,
collaborating with Shepherd's Voice Ministry Youth.
So we are gonna do a lot. This is just the beginning, guys.
This is just the beginning. We have. I feel like between now and next year,
events. We're gonna do some.
We're gonna do some crazy stuff. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
we are out here. We are.
You've got us, and we're locked in.
Yeah, facts.
We're locked in.
Facts.
Or you like to do your little double. It's so silly. But thank you guys for listening to our second podcast episode.
Thank you for listening.
That's it. Yeah.